I have seen only once in my career an officer, they removed his gun belt right in the roll call room and told him, we're going to escort you down to your locker, get into civilian clothes, you're going to central booking.
It was determined Brooks suffered multiple bruises on his face and arms and legs, a fractured nasal bone, multiple soft tissue bleeding in his neck on both the left and right sides, as well as bleeding in the genitalia area. Now, the medical examiner also reported concerns for asphyxia, this due to compression of the neck, as well as Brooks's death due to actions of another.
They're playing games here. This medical examiner is playing games here. When they declare that the death is at the hands of another, that is the definition for the medical legal term homicide used in cause and manner of death. They're saying at the end, if you continue with that they haven't declared a cause and manner. Okay, well, they have. That statement, death at the hands of another, is the definition of homicide.
It's a shame. It's a goddamn shame that in this day and age, when we have this type of evidence, that there's no action. And there better be a pretty damn good reason why they didn't do this. And I don't think we'll ever get the answers why it wasn't swift justice. Everybody's expecting. I even said on the live stream last Saturday night, I was saying, I bet my pension, so I've lost it. I don't have a pension anymore. I said by Monday or Tuesday before the new year, they're going to lock these guys up, because I was that confident that with what I saw with my own eyes as a retired detective, as someone who has investigated cases, that was more than enough for them to make a summary arrest.
The why of it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We don't need to know why, or we don't need to care about why it happened to indict them for murder. Okay? We saw what they did. We saw what they did from the point they dragged him in cuffs and shackled on his ankles, the way they brought him into the infirmary, and then what transpired in the infirmary. Okay, then they rush him to off the correctional facility to a hospital, and he's dead.
Meantime, family of Robert Brooks held a vigil last night in Rochester with his surviving son, Robert Brooks Jr., saying the family is hopeful his death was not in vain and will be a, quote, catalyst for change.
What more do you need? I'm sorry. I've seen people indicted with less.
And the crazy part about it is everybody in the chat has their own individual stories. Because we covered this case and did the story, I have had multiple family members, mothers, sisters, brothers, aunts, uncles, you name it, in my inbox, talking to me about their loved ones being tortured inside New York State correctional facilities, talking about inhumane conditions and violence.
Yeah, this guy that I talked to on YouTube, he told him, I said, yeah, you're in that prison. And I had that was like right after I talked to you the first time. And I told him, I said, yeah, he was telling me that there's a couple more bad ones left in there.
At least 5 or 6. The one in the mess hall just now, I see them beat an inmate up right at the guard shack here when we go to the rec yard. Just body slam this kid for no reason. Just for, like, I don't even know what it was, but he took him out the guard shack and just body slammed the kid, and the kid started fighting back and gave the CO a black eye. It was actually a good little karma for him. And the CO was flailing on him like a girl windmilling. It's just funny. Hilarious. It was a little ass kid, like a little 120-pound dude, and this dude's like 250 pounds, big fat bastard, total piece of shit, just wailing on the kid, windmill style. It's crazy.
And there's nothing you guys can do about it in there. That's
Nah, hell no. The only way you can do something is when they fuck up and kill somebody like that. Now it's on. Now everybody can voice their issues. But before, they don't care. You can call OSI from these phones. Just got an Office of Special Investigation that investigates. They don't give a f***. Nobody cares. They really thought those body cams were off when they were blinking green. Little did they know that they're always recording, and when they're blinking green, it's just the videos on and not the audio. They thought they had to actually turn it on to get it to record.
Now, do all the COs have to wear those body cams?
Yeah, in this prison they do. Not in all of them. I know some prisons, they don't have them yet, but this one, they have to have them here. The last time I was here, they would seriously brutalize you. I've seen them whoop everybody's ass. I've seen them take out 4 or 5 people at the same time. They call them the goon squad. They used to run in there like 6 of them deep and just start beating the shit out of everybody.
Wow, and they can get away with all that.
Yeah, that's why they got cameras here. You can see what kind of shit they still try to pull behind people's backs.
If it wasn't for those body cams, nothing. I mean, the rest of those COs that are in there that are not good, I bet they're dotting their I's and crossing their T's.
There's certainly 5 or 6 more that are hands-on, and they're scared to death because they don't say shit. You can just see it in their faces. They want to say stuff.
Okay. You can't tell me that the upper echelon of this facility did not know what was going on and did not tolerate it, because this has been going on for years. They're just way too comfortable with this beatdown that we see here that caused the murder.
They have been getting complaints, not since 2020, for decades. Ed, this stuff goes back into the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
And I've researched and gone back, and I'm sure it goes back before the 90s. And think about it. There was no cameras. There was no cell phones. There was nothing. So these types were able to run free within the walls of these facilities. It's not every correction officer. We cannot throw that blanket statement out there, but there is way too many that have gone unchecked. They needed to be arrested. They need to be taken off the job and locked up.
Listen, as a street cop, right? If someone came up to me and showed me a video like this, and there's the person right there who's on this video conducting this assault,
getting locked up,
he's going to be wearing my bracelets immediately. Okay,
hands down.
And I'm locking him up for the assault. You can't justify what transpired here. You can't say he bit me, he spit on me, he resisted or whatever. You don't continue to beat a man that's shankled at his ankles and cut behind his back. Okay,
it's despicable.
There needs to be arrest, and I mean, at a minimum, as a whole, you can lock all these people seen in the video for assault, those that assaulted, and those that stood by and watched and did nothing to stop it and did nothing to report it, because they're mandatory reporters, right? Even the nurse is a mandatory reporter. All law enforcement were mandatory reporters of abuse. Okay, those that witnessed this and did nothing to stop it. There are official misconduct charges. There's other charges that can be leveled against them. You don't need a grand jury to go lock these people up. Lock them up as a placeholder, and then go to the grand jury for the murder charges.
I 110% agree. And if you agree, let us know in the chat by saying yes. If you don't agree, say no. Listen, everybody's afforded due process. We're not just saying lock him up for nothing. We have a mountain of video evidence. He seemed unresponsive. The fake nurse, the kid that was grinning and smiling, he went over to try to take a pulse, and he made this stupid face and walked away. Ed, your thoughts on that?
No, it's just totally disgusting. This is a travesty of justice. Remember, justice delayed is justice denied.